I'm consulting, so I'm not in direct like, hey, go ahead and fix it. So one of my dog pile campaigns is still not working. Unfortunately, I think this is the best selling apparel. So I have a catch-all and then all dresses. Unfortunately, this thing has just like died off in spend. They're investigating what happened with their custom labels. No one knows who made what change where. So whatever. So we're kind of hanging tight this week. But long story short, if we look at, at least these two, for example, this cost here can scale up. So I look at our costs and our conversions going from 850 to 3,137. Like, excellent. If we just look at like the Sunday, Monday, these two just for fun compared to the previous period, our scale is good. Dogpile still works. We have a catch-all that went up to 100% more than this 60% more. Yes. Then this one went from 22 and this one went up to 100. So they flip flop there. That's fine. When we look at these things together, it's 82% and 113%. Fine. Like we're still fine. Do I expect this to sell that and that to sell this? No, I really don't care. I know that this one's going to be more aggressive. This one's going to be less aggressive, but together they will combine. And this all dresses still has these products here that are a massive amount of products. The catch-alls have been performing very, very well. If I look at what is eligible in terms of status, eligible, take out everything that's not eligible. There's 37 products here. That's great. That's all of my dresses. If we look at the catch-all campaign, it's like 4,606 or whatever it is.
All of your dresses specifically, John.
What's that?
All of your dresses specifically.
All of my dresses.
Your 37 dresses that you own.
Mine. Yep. I like to experiment. So this 1,000 is usually 4,600. We're just missing the feed items right now, which is why this is still bad. But even if you take out like 4/5 of the product, it's like, okay, fine. It'll still scale. It'll still scale well. What am I expecting? I'm expecting just revenue right now. I am not expecting new. I'm not expecting returning. We're looking at just pure top line revenue. So that's fine with me. Whatever happens, happens. It's cold traffic, which means there's a retention play and a new customer acquisition together. I'm not purposely going after people who are knowing who we are. But if you're a customer of ours and you're trying to buy another product that we happen to sell, but you're looking for that product and not us, I brought you back. Good. So the cold traffic campaign, I'm expecting new customer acquisition and retention. So I'm not going to count new customer only. I'm not going to count only dresses. I'm counting all sales. That's what I'm expecting. So I want you all to kind of take a step back for a moment and reanalyze each one of your campaigns. And the analysis of your campaign should be, I'm expecting very, very what? I'm expecting a very high amount of new customers. I'm expecting a high amount of returning customers. I'm expecting a high amount of any sales. I'm expecting a high amount of non-brand and new customers. I'm expecting a high amount of non-brand and new customers and for that product. If you look at your campaign that is selling, let's say, a category of energy drinks, and you have not looked that week to see how many energy drinks your energy drink campaign sold, you're going to have an epiphany when you do. It is vastly eye-opening. And a lot of your, oh, that's why, and oh, this why, and aha. Just looking through the back end of Wicked Reports, like just as the example that I shared here earlier, is that the dress shirts are selling jumpsuits.
Yeah.
If this is not oh shit moment for everyone, it damn well better not be. Let's scale.
Yeah, know what you're scaling exactly.
Know what to expect, and if you are not inspecting, you cannot expect. If you're not saying I should see this, but I saw that instead, I know what to do, or I know at least there's a problem, you're crossing your fingers and you're hoping. You're basically just adding an ad spend and be like, please don't get a bad email from the client.
Well, you can look at this too in Shopify as well. It doesn't have to be in Wicked, just in terms of volume, but yeah,
you can look at it in Shopify, UTM parameters, Triple Whale, Northbeam, HubSpot. Doesn't matter.
One's more right than the other.
If you say I don't have anything like that, that should put you into an even bigger panic. If you're like, I have no way to inspect it, then you're really not knowing what to expect. And I always say when things are going good and you don't know why, it's just as scary as when things start to go bad and you don't know why.
Exactly.
That's the mindset that you have to get into. And I think
paranoia is what we're preaching.
Right. this shit's hard. It's going to get harder. And that's why I think that you all are here. You're here for the hard stuff. And if me saying importing CAPI with the conversion action events that you're wanting to see and hoping to expect and expect to see, if that's the point in your brain where you're like, why I can't do that, stop that thought first. That's the part where you now can be replaced by AI.
Yeah.
That's the commoditization. I can't tell you how many people I have in my LinkedIn inbox who are begging for a job. It's getting kind of ridiculous. 7 out of 10 messages are just like, hey, I was fired from this agency and hope to work for you. First thing I email back is, cool, how do you measure? And then it falls off there. Well, ROAS. Exactly. Yeah. I look at CPA and click the rate. Exactly. People are getting just shit canned. One of our large clients, National RV Rental, just fired their entire internal marketing team. 20 people gone overnight. Completely gone. This shit's getting hard. That's why you're all here. You need to embrace this. You need to learn, understand, and at least start to have those conversations with your client, with your company. Blotout, I think, is like $400 a month to get new customer imports from any, from Meta, Google. It's like $400, I think, a month. And you get like, I want all new customers of that product and that campaign there. You can kind of just pick and choose.
You get all the tools.
They'll build everything for you. So it's extremely difficult. It's not outside the realm of expensiveness because you're like, okay, can I pull out like $100 from 5 campaigns in a month? I hope. Because that will more than pay for that fee. I don't make any money. I don't own Blotout. I'm not affiliated with Blotout. I know Mandar, the owner. He's awesome. I make zero money on this. So there is no incentive for me to tell you to go contact Blotout Mandar to do this. But that's why I'm saying it, is because that's what I'm doing. And I'm paying money on my own.
There's incentive for me, though.
Why is that?
Technically, I guess. Not really. I don't own.
What do you mean incentive for you?
Oh, and I meant like Blotout. Like I have an affiliate link for Blotout, but
do you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, use Caden's affiliate.
Use my yeah.
There you go.
John can be or you're over here. Yeah.
I wanted to share with you.
Well, but one other thing I want to point out as well on that is if Blotout is too expensive, like let me actually rewind. It's all stages. Everything is in stages, right? And so if you're a company that doesn't have a high LTV and you don't have a lot of repeat customers coming in because you're new or you're small, and you're growing, you just want to get volume of conversion data. It's going to hit a wall at one point. When you hit that wall, this is sort of that next step of saying, okay, this is how you break past that. It doesn't have to be with Blotout, even though Blotout has edge tag. You can use other tools like Elevar, server-side tracking to import in new customers. It's just not going to have edge tag in it. That's the biggest difference.
Yeah, I find edge tag to be really, really good just because I think it's needed. But yes, you don't absolutely have to have edge tag. That's for sure. This is something, though, I wanted to kind of pivot gears here just because I want to share a use case of a client that we launched a sequencing campaign on. I wanted to kind of share the results for fun.
Before we do that, one question on what we just talked about. Have you tested it with Performance Max?
Not yet. No, the really advanced clients of ours don't like Performance Max because I don't like Performance Max either. I don't need Performance Max for feeder strategy for the clients that we're testing it on, only because it's either A, heavy in meta, or B, way overspent in meta anyway. So all of my retargeting is going to help. Exactly. And because it's like I spend $500,000 to their $3 million, like Performance Max is just going to scoop up all meta first. They're a way too high spend level for that to actually be effective. I have one client that I can test it on, and we're actually pulling back. We pulled back 50% in Performance Max. Top line lost 8% of revenue, but we didn't run a sale this week. So it seems that we just saved half our ad spend in non-brand PMax yet again. Yeah. So I keep kicking PMax in the nuts, and it keeps just not affecting my top line. So I'm just going to keep doing that.
Yeah, but that's without the new customers, though, right?
Yeah, right. When they're doing new customer acquisition, PMax now is like, well, shit, I was going to fluff you with some extra existing customer conversions for your ROAS, but you don't need that apparently.
Yeah. Dang, man. I wish that we had this whole thing laid out for OTCE and like that kind of structure that we had. And now I'm like waiting for it to go away. That's why I've been playing with YouTube as much, but I'm curious to see what you got going on with sequencing.
Yeah, so I ran a test just for a couple days because I wanted to see. I'm building a case study with you all. Unfortunately, we ran out of stock, like literally in like the first like 2 days of the test. I was like, son of a
Oh,
bitch.
darn.
I know. And we ran out of stock on like our washer tabs, our clean. I mean, all of a sudden it was like we got screwed. So this is the YouTube sequencing. I got to spend like $150 on it. And then because we're like, nope, because it was spending like $50 a day. And I'm like, I'm just going to test this. But here's one thing that I wanted to share with you that I thought was really, 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 really interesting. Because a lot of times the Performance Max, and I have another test to see if I can get the metrics. But watch this here. This is grooming kit, YouTube, washer tabs, and then YouTube sequencing. This one, grooming kit, also was pulling back because we ran out of the what's it called? Why didn't my column get added? Sorry, I got distracted. Percentage of new visits. Apply. There we go. Check this bad boy out. This is what I love about the sequencing campaigns. Like they are so cold. Over 90% new. This one's 77 sequencing campaigns. Really, 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 cold. Now, obviously, we didn't, get the good click-through rate as our conversion campaigns, but this was going to be my test for like a mini feeder strategy of ones that are focusing on conversions and then one sequencing, which is going to be like an L0. This is as cold as I've been able to see this like ever. Targeted grooming kit was 46%. Obviously, things that aren't really spending are just going to be defaulted to 0 or 100% here because it's like, hey, we got a person that we think happened here. So long story short, this is what's actually running. This was tested here. I will be able to retest the sequencing campaign, but even just like you see, add 1 intro to kit 88, add 2 skip number 1
hardly
83.
any spend split.
Yeah, it's hardly any split, but like the further they were going down, the colder they were getting.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. We get engagement for longer from people who still have never been here, but are still visiting. So I'm going to relaunch this one soon, but I did want to share with you really, really kind of cool stuff. But let me do this. Let me do one more. This is in a company called SoloWave.
all the gold, getting all the gold.
Yeah, we're going to kind of just do a couple little like teasers of some things that I'm working on. We launched a YouTube remarketing sequencing campaign. Kind of fun. So the YouTube remarketing sequencing campaign is this one here. This we're just launching off. It's the first kind of like first days. We're not really having much cost. It's only 50 cents right now. We're waiting for this to pause another YouTube campaign. But in order to get this one launched, this one's not going to spend that much at all on purpose because we have another company that we're paying for a test. And once they're done, this thing ramps up. But this one here is going to be a remarketing sequence campaign that anybody that has gone to a page, we already have our existing customers excluded, our add a cart after 30 days included, long story short. But this thing is going to push you through a massive impression sequence. And only if you're an add to cart and not purchaser in the last 30 days. So we have 9 re-engaging videos, essentially different variations of them, all for the same product that we're going to be testing this thing. And I'm just going to push everybody through an impression sequence. So if you saw that one, you skipped it, you're going to see this one. Skip it, you're going to see that one. Skip it, you're going to see that one. You skipped it. So we're just going to be able to go through each one of these.
Kind of thing.
Exactly. And it's going to be a remarketing sequence. So it's kind of a campaign type that we haven't really tried before. I'm going to be launching this hard, hopefully today, tomorrow, when we get the word that they're like, okay, we paused our test and blah, blah, blah. And then this thing's going to be ramped up, but going to be really, really, really cool. I'm just kind of getting it at least just on because I want to launch it anyway. But this is something that is going to be really nice. It's a teaser. Once I push into this thing next week, we'll be able to review the results and see how it actually performed. But a remarketing sequence is kind of like the gold standard that I'm going to test for re-engagement, because I want to be able to at least have something to show that's different than just say, okay, let's push to meta or Performance Max or display or automated demand gen. Like I want to have that control still. Sequence campaigns seem to be unaffected by the demand gen change. They're still available in the account. It's because it's not a video action campaign. Well, it's not a video action campaign, so it's excluded from the pushing all the video action campaigns into demand gen. This may still be a little bright and shiny light where it says, hey, if we're going to take all our video action campaigns that go warmer and kind of get drug around by the nose by PMax, this is still possible. So let's push into these for cold traffic and remarketing, and you'll be kind of first to see those tests here.